So I thought I would do a video which has been requested for a while about my favourite products. These are my favourite products at the moment, in terms of special effects makeup obviously. I really like, and I'm sure you guys can tell from all my videos, the Skin Illustrator alcohol palettes. I think my favourite one is probably the light Fleshtones palette. This is one that I use the most to colour match skin tones, and then you can use these ones for like juicy, meaty inside bits of wounds. And then there's also the SFX palette, which looks more worn than the light Fleshtones, but that's because this is my second one. And obviously the blood colours are going to be the ones that are missing the most from mine. But I find that having these really help. I really like that you can build up really translucent washes of colour, because then it enables you to maybe do like a wash of some pinks and a wash of, like different kinds of flesh tones, and then a wash of undertones, and you get like a really spot on colour matched skin without it looking too cakey or thick. And then you can splatter on little, highlights and lowlights just to really simulate like the skin colouring that you have. Yeah, so I think this is really beneficial. And then obviously with the flesh tones you can create bruises and things that are really nice. So with the FX ones you can create bruises and things that are really nice, and you can use the blood tones to have like a more permanent blood inside wounds and stuff, in case the blood gets wiped off. Yeah, these are really handy, and I don't even know what I'd do without them. So my favourite blood of all time is a blood by Mold Life called Kensington Gore in Aged. So this isn't like, a lot of people really like the Fleet Street blood as like the top of the range blood, and that one's really nice as well. That one's alcohol based, so it dries, but I found that when I was using it, it was like for a zombie and it was all down his neck. And the Fleet Street blood, because it would dry completely, it means it's not like sticky or goopy, but it also means that if it's stuck to itself it's going to like peel off in layers. So I found it really hard to keep on top of that, whereas this one doesn't dry necessarily, and to the same extent as that one does, but I feel like it stops running, and it still has like kind of a semi-matte finish, and it's a bit it's not uncomfortable or sticky to wear, but it doesn't dry as much as the other one, so that it doesn't like come off in sheets either. I feel like this one wears for a lot longer and is really comfortable, and it's also mouth safe, so you can use it in your mouth. It's like slightly minty flavoured, whereas the Fleet Street one is alcohol, so you can't. And I've also had people complain that it hurts their lips because of the alcohol content, whereas this one is totally good to go. And I just really love the colour and the consistency of this one as well, so it's my favourite blood. So I haven't got all of mine here, some of them are in the dirty to be washed pile, but I really love my Delium Tool SFX brushes. I got the whole first kit and then a couple from the second kit, because I had like, the expansion of brushes, I guess. And previously I just used really cheap art brushes. I think what I really like about these ones is because they're obviously fluffy, and so all the brushes that I was using were really flat and were really small detail oriented ones. But I didn't really have any really good ones that were more akin to I guess like face brushes and cosmetic makeup brushes. And I think having the really fluffy brushes like really helps a lot when it comes to doing special effects work. And they also have obviously like the really cool detail brushes for getting straight lines, and interesting texture brushes, and I don't know, I really enjoy these brushes. I mean, if you're a beginner and you're just starting out, like it's not going to make a huge difference, so I would just stick with the cheaper brushes. But if you're more intermediate or advanced and you want to treat yourself, like I think these brushes will totally rock your world. Another thing that I love are silicone flat molds, which make encapsulated silicone pieces, and I know like everyone thinks this looks like a vagina or a vulva. But the reason that I love these, I mean, I've got like a whole video talking about it, but the edges like are so thin and they blend away to nothing. You get like perfect edges with these. It's really durable, so you can like squish it together and you can kind of pull on it, and it's gonna like last a long time in comparison to everything else I've ever used. And it's just like, it's so soft and it just moves like flesh, and it's beautiful. Yeah, I really like them. And this one is one that I got from Stuart Bray, so you can obviously make your own, but if you want to have a bunch of flat molds and you're not really into sculpting it yourself, you can buy pre-made flat molds. I've only used Stuart Bray's because I'm in love with his sculpting, and I really like these. They're really good. For like out of kit, like not pre-made ones, I also use silicone, so I use Sculpting Gel. There are similar ones, like Third Degree is pretty popular. This one has a third component which works more like a deadener or a softener, like it makes it softer for places that have a lot more movement, like the neck or the mouth. And before I got into making molds and using encapsulated pieces, I would use Sculpt Gel all the time. It takes a little while to set, which you need to get used to, because you can kind of like carve details and then it's still too goopy and you have to kind of give it enough time to set, especially if it's cold. If it's warmer, it will set faster. And also getting used to blending it out. I got a good tip from one of Stuart-based videos about Sculpt Gel called Spectacular Sculpt Gel. It's sold by Mold Life, and it's like really helpful for how to get better at outer kit wounds with Sculpt Gel. But basically with your spatula that you're smoothing out the Sculpt Gel with, you spray it with 99% alcohol, so that when you go over it, the alcohol kind of helps to like lubricate and glide over, so it doesn't get like sticky and stuck, and you can kind of keep wiping off any excess silicone on a paper towel, spraying it with 99% alcohol, and then smoothing it over. But yeah, if you put enough time into practicing this and getting really familiar with the material, you can make completely insane kick-ass wounds with this stuff. One downfall that I have with silicone is that it doesn't have a surface that blood sticks to as realistically as blood sticks to skin. And specifically, blood will bead up on a silicone surface, and you can tell where your skin ends and where that starts. And so I use bentonite final seal as a layer over it, which helps the blood to sit a lot more naturally, which is really useful. So I use bentonite final seal. Another thing which I find with the flat molds that happens is the encapsulating plastic can be really shiny, and so I use Scotty's Makeup and Beauty Liquid Powder Shine Eliminator, and I find this stuff really awesome for helping with the shine of that stuff as well and making it all look realistic. So this is another favourite product. And finally and lastly, this is my favourite remover, Telesis Super Solv. I find that this just breaks through everything so much faster, and it just makes the cleaning up job really easy. I have read online that some people will react to it because it is a strong formula. I have really sensitive skin, and for some reason I've never reacted to this, which is good. I've never had a reaction with people that I use it on, but it's something to keep in mind. There's also Telesis Super Solv Plus, which is a sensitive version of it, which I've used and it works really well as well. But yeah, this is my favourite remover, for sure. I think that's everything. You probably know a lot of these products because I mention it all the time, but maybe this will help or give you inspiration for what you can buy yourself or ask for a gift. Yeah, I will see you guys later. Bye.